Pennsylvania leaders over in the Championship, of course, but are they the real bloody deal? We'll take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks. Part one game and prediction video today is all about match day number 13. That's right, over in the Championship, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe and you want to stop shop for Blackburn Rovers, Championship football, world football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski. It is Sunderland 5 points clear over the nearest and dearest. That is Sunderland, of course, who are level on points with Leeds. Goodness gracious me, in what could be a crazy weekend in the Championship, with all the way down into 5th place West Brom could be in the automatics at the end of these games. We'll take a look at that and more in a second. If you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe and you want to stop shop for Blackburn, Championship, and of course world football. And again, big shout out to the VIPs, the Patreons, you know who you are, and a big shout out to the members, you know who you are. That is right, guys, of course. But before we jump into the next round of games, we're going to turn the clock back to this past weekend, look back at how I got on, how you guys got on. Of course, I'm going to kick on forward to the next weekend's matches. Alrighty then, here we go then. Turn the clock back to this past weekend and look at these Bobby Dazzlers, including Sheffield Wednesday's big 2-1 win over Pompey, who dented their recent resurgence. Bristol City and Leeds could only draw. Was over at Thrashton Gate. Coventry with a big win, important win for Mark Robbins, 3-2 win over Luton Town, who are absolutely floundering right now. Watford got a cheeky 1-0 win over my boys Rovers, not happy about that. Burnley couldn't get anything. Well, they got 1 point against QPR, all with them six fingers and co. Derby can only draw with Hull and their own Pride Park. Plymouth and Preston in the Battle of the Peas was a 6-goal Bobby Dazzler, 3-3 in the end. Sheffield United pick up a 2-0 win over Stoke. Sunderland with a 2-0 win over Oxford. Millwall picking up a monstrous away win against a toothless Swansea right now. West Brom, what's gone wrong with them? Only a draw against Cardiff, and then Norwich with a 3-3 draw against Borough. 6-goal Bobby Dazzler. Well, that's of course the state of play there. This is the table as you see it. Look at it, Sunderland running away with it right now. Burnley up to second, and Leeds are right on their tail, level on points, of course. Sheffield United, of course, could take into top 2 if they get a win this weekend against my boys. We'll talk about that shortly. West Brom, and then my Rovers are in there with just 1 win though in the last 5 games. Pretty grim stuff for Rovers. Going down right now, it's Pompey, it's QPR, and it's Luton Town. Plymouth, Cardiff, Stoke, Coventry, all level on 12 points in is a very, very dirty looking bottom end of the table. That's, of course, the state of play over there. But over in the Super Brew, it looks a little bit like this. Turtle, look at Turtle, absolutely fantastic. Yellow cap extraordinaire, 14.5. Big shout out to the main man Turtle, you know who you are. Absolutely fantastic, kicking ass and taking names, beating the likes of UK in CA, and Jay Rich on 14 points. City alongside them as well. I am nowhere to be seen. That's like a song. I am nowhere to be seen. Where the fuck am I? I'm all the way down here, 5.5. Grim stuff. Beat Philly though. Beat Philly Pete. We like a bit of that. Anyway, that's of course the state of play for this past week. What about the overall leaderboard? Well, it's KP21 kicking ass with 135.5 points. Newton Abbey up alongside him, and Shepherd Daddy up there as well. I am in 25th. I'll take that right now. I'm going down there 5 spots right now. Big Turtle, big mover, 13 spots to number 22. Absolutely funky stuff. Jay Rich moving 10 spots as well. City up 6 to number 10 in a very, very spicy looking leaderboard right there. Make sure you see your name if you see your name, which everybody should do. So there is 119 of you. There should be 119 likes in this video because they're all in there. Anyway, get involved, get invested, and of course, get your picks in for next weekend's games. If you want to do that, use this link right here, right now. Of course, it's on the screen, of course, and it's 100% free. Alrighty then, folks, here we go with the next round of games. And we've got some absolute crackers up the agenda here, including this coming weekend's Friday night opener. Look at that. It's Luton, it's West Brom, and that's where we're going to go first. If we're all ready, we're heading off to Kenilworth Town. That's right, as Rob Edwards' boys take on West Bromwich Albion, playing each other for the 16th time since 1994. The previous 15, though, 3 wins for Luton, 8 wins for West Brom. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. Luton, though, just 1 win in 6 to down to 22nd in the table. 11 points to the campaign. Up against West Brom, winless in 6, 33% form for them right now. However, drawing 4 on the spin. They are 5th, 20 points for the campaign, for the season as well. But they're having a better season than Luton, but form both out the window on here, and I can tell you right now, it does smell like a draw. Meanwhile, last time they played over at Luton, it was a 3-2 win for West Brom. That was the last time they were in the Championship together back in January 2023. Luton just winning once of the last 6 against West Brom. Luton on the back of that 3-2 loss to Coventry. West Brom could only draw against Cardiff this past weekend. 7-5 is your Luton. 9-5 is your West Brom. 12-5 is the draw. It does smell like a draw, but I'm going to give it to Luton. 2-1 win. West Brom just don't know what they're doing right now. Struggling to score, struggling to hold out games. Luton can score. And for the impatient faithful, maybe they might get the 3 points, which might really get the season back on track at an important time of the season. Next up, we go to the promised land, the sacred land, that is Ewood Park, and it will be Blackburn Rovers against Sheffield United. And I'll be watching this game right here on the old watch-along, of course. So looking forward to it. It's an early kickoff on Saturday as Blackburn Rovers will take on the Blades. That's right, John Eustace's boys just won in the last 5. They sit 6th, 19 points to the name. Up against Sheffield United, who got back to winning ways. Their first win in 3 this past weekend. They sit 4th with 22 points. Of course, Rovers could leapfrog the Blades this weekend if they get a win. They played 16 times since 1993, 5 wins for Rovers, 8 wins for the Blades. There's been 3 draws between the two sides, with the last match at this very venue being a 1-0 win for Blackburn back in March 2023. In fact, this match does favour the hosts. The last 7 matches have gone in favour of whoever's been in the home dugout. However, only 2 of those last 7 games have been Blackburn Rovers, so take from that from what you will. Meanwhile, coming at you, Rovers on the back of that 1-0 loss to Watford, back-to-back games without a goal, just scoring 1 goal in the last 3. Concerning for Rovers. Meanwhile, Sheffield United, 2-0 winners over Stoke, back-to-back away losses for Sheffield United, back-to-back away goalless affairs for Sheffield United. So maybe Rovers can get them on the back foot. So it does look like if Rovers can't score goals at the minute, or just scoring 1 goal over the last couple of games against Sheffield United, who can't score away, does smell like a draw here, guys. Does smell like a draw. Both sides not got cup action, of course, to look forward to this weekend. But the odds: 9-5 is your Rovers, 8-5 is your Blades. They are favoured here. 11-5 is the draw. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this game. It's going to be a tough old one, but I'm hoping Rovers get something out of it. I'm going to go with a 1-1, but it does smell like a 0-0. Meanwhile, let's go to the Kazam. That's right, as Oxford take on Swansea. That's right, coming at you this coming Saturday, the 2nd of November. Oxford under Des Buckingham. They're on 42% form for them right now, sitting in 14th at the table with 14 points, but winless in the last 6. They have drawn 5 of the last 6, so pretty good in getting something out of it. Meanwhile, Swansea under Luke Williams, they sit 17th with 13 points to name. They are winless in the last 6. Drawing 3, though, in those last 6 matches. They played 8 times since 2003, 4 wins for Oxford, 3 for Swansea, 1 draw between the two sides. Last time they played over at this very venue, it was a penalty shootout victory for Oxford in the Cup last, was it back in 2022? 5-3 penalty shootout win. The last time they played in the league at this venue was a 1-0 win for Swansea back in December 2004. Swansea, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games without a goal. Grim stuff for the Swans right now. Meanwhile, Oxford on the back of a 2-0 loss to Sunderland, of course. So both sides need a win. Both sides, well, it looks like Swansea need goals right now. 70-10 is your Oxford, 13-8 is your Swansea, 11-5 is the draw. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Oxford at home. They're good at home. And Swansea right now are struggling to find the back of the net. Meanwhile, we go to the Bet365. It's, of course, Stoke taking on Derby County. That's right, Stoke under Narcius Pilic. Just 1 win in the last 6 games. They sit 19th with 12 points to the name. Up against Derby under Paul Warne, just unbeaten in the last 4. They sit 12th, 15 points to the name. They played 29 times since 1994. 9 wins for Stoke, 14 wins for Derby. There's been 6 draws between the two sides. The last match they played, though, at this very venue was a 2-1 win for Derby back in December 2021. Derby are unbeaten against them over the last couple, and just 1 loss against them in the last 5. That was at the Bet365 in March 2021. Derby, though, drawing with Hull, Oxford and Millwall in quick succession. The last defeat was a 2-0 loss to Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Stoke's last defeat was the last game against Sheffield United. The last win was that 6-1 thumping against Portsmouth at this very venue. Stoke are in action against Southampton in the Cup. Derby looking forward to this game this weekend with no other distractions. So no excuses. 6-5 is your Stoke. 9-4 is your Derby. 23-10 is the draw. Can Palace get back to winning ways? I think so. I'm going to give it to them. 2-0 win. Stoke taking the points. Next up, we go to Wales. That's right. As Cardiff take on Norwich City. That's right. The Cardiff City Stadium. Omar Ritza has done himself no harm in getting that job full-time. Unbeaten in the last 5 matches. They sit 20th, 12 points to the name. Up against Norwich, who are in 8th, 18 points to the name, drawing 4 out of the last 5. They are unbeaten in the last 6 on 67% form, just like that of Cardiff. Now, they have played 27 times since 2003, 8 wins for Cardiff, 16 wins for Norwich. There's been 3 draws. Last time they played, though, at this venue was a 3-2 win for Norwich back in November 2023. Norwich have won 3 on the bounce against Cardiff, scoring 9 goals against them in those last 3. That's averaging 3 goals a game. Norwich, though, they are the draw kings. They've nearly got a full house here. They've got 3-3, they got 2-2, and they got a 1-1, with their last win being a 4-0 win over Hull at Carrow Road. Cardiff, though, back to back, 3 clean sheets on the spin. Can they get a 4th? Well, it looks good right now. They're unbeaten since that last, since also a 4-1 loss to Hull back on the 28th of September. What's going on this weekend here? None of them are in cup action. Cardiff at 13-8 for the victory. 13-8 is your Norwich. They cannot separate the two sides. 12-5 is the draw. I think I might be leaning towards a draw. 2-2. 2-2, or it could be a 4-4, because that'd be the next one on the list for Norwich. Let's go over to MKM Stadium. It's Hull City up against Pompey, that's right, as Tim Walter's boys are in 15th for the table, up against Portsmouth, who are in 24th in the table with 8 points to the name. They played 10 times in 2008, 3 wins for Hull, 4 for Portsmouth. There has been 3 draws between the two sides. Hull, though, without a win in the last 4, up against Portsmouth, just 1 win in the last 6. Goodness gracious. The last time they played at this venue was a 2-0 win for Portsmouth back in December 2020. Of course, that was in League One, where both these two sides were there. Coming into this derby, did draw with Hull last time around. Hull's last victory was a 3-1 win against QPR at Loftus Road back in the start of October, with Pompey picking up their one and only win so far against QPR. So both sides beating QPR in the last month or so. Yeah, no one in the cup. Bookies, though, go in favour of Hull. They are favoured overwhelmingly. So 6-4 on, 14-5 is the draw, 15-4 is your away win. Portsmouth are in trouble. I don't know where. I don't know. I think they are on a hiding and nothing, and maybe this season, or promotion this season, might have been a bit of a regret, because they do not look equipped to stick around in this division. Meanwhile, up at Ellen Road, it is Leeds United up against Plymouth Argyle. That's right, Daniel Farke's boys. They sit 3rd in the table. They could be in the top 2. This weekend, they're unbeaten in the last 7 matches on 75% form. Meanwhile, Plymouth in 21st spot with 12 points to name, just 1 win in the last 5. Of course, Plymouth good at home, shitty on the road. That's the rules. Played 10 times since 2004, 8 wins for Leeds, nothing for Plymouth, 2 draws, of course. The last time they played at Leeds, though, get this, it was a 1-1 draw back in January 2024. That was a point in the FA, or that point was a draw in the FA Cup. The replay, of course, went in favour of Leeds overwhelmingly, so have won 5 of the last 6. So there ain't no slouches in this opposition. Leeds, though, on the back of a 0-0 draw against Bristol City. Plymouth on the back of a 3-3 thriller against Preston. That was their first goal-scoring exploits in the last 3 matches. Leeds are not in the cup, neither are Plymouth, so both looking forward to this game this weekend. Leeds 11-2 on for the victory, overwhelming favours, 13-2. The draw, 11-1 is your Plymouth. No way, no how they're going to win this one. Going to go with a 4-0 win. I'm going big. And of course, it could be sort of a concerning part of the camp. It's of course, we are close to another, I know, dare I say it, another international break very, very soon. So it's going to be a crucial week to 10 days for Plymouth to get some results over the next 3 matches. Let's go to the Riverside now as Middlesbrough take on Coventry, and a big game for Coventry. Can they get to back-to-back wins to really get the season on track? Borough, though, under Michael Carrick sitting in 9th in the table, just 1 win in the last 4 matches. Coventry, though, also 1 win in 4 for them. 58% form for Middlesbrough compared to the 42 of that of Coventry. Played 29 times since 1995. 12 wins for the hosts, 9 wins for the visitors. Been 8 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at the Riverside, it was a 3-1 win for Coventry, who have won 3 on the bounce against Borough, so they like playing them, and they're unbeaten against them even further if you open it up to the last 6. Picking up 4 wins and a couple of draws. In fact, they've only conceded 1 goal against Middlesbrough in the last 4 matches. Wow. Coventry, though, 3-2 win over Luton. Big win that was. Meanwhile, Middlesbrough put 3 past Norwich on the road this past weekend. In a big 3-3 thriller there. Looking at the odds, we have 64 on is your Borough, 50-4 is your Coventry, 31-10 is the draw. Don't know. I really don't know which way to go on this one. It's a toughie. Going to slightly edge towards Borough with a 2-1 win at their own turf. A long way to go. And yeah, maybe it's still not sure about this Coventry City side. But that win against Luton was massive. Probably for the future of Robins and Coventry City as a whole. Let's go to Deepdale now as Preston North End take on Bristol City still under the caretaker ownership, managerialship of Chris Hogg, doing the deed under Liam Manning's absence. Meanwhile, Paul Heckingbottom's Preston looking pretty good right now, 16th at the table, 14 points to the campaign, unbeaten in the last 5. Up against Bristol City, who are unbeaten in the last 6. However, drawing 5 in the last 6, they sit 11th, 16 points to the campaign. Played 30 times, these two sides, since 2007. 11 wins for Preston, 6 wins for Bristol City. 13 draws between the two sides. However, the last time they played at Deepdale was a 2-0 win for Preston North End, who were unbeaten against Bristol City last season, picking up a win and a draw. Preston with that 3-3 thriller against Plymouth. They're also doing a bit of a spree here of draws, drawing 3 of the last 4. They got a 3-3 and a 2-2 and a 0-0 in the last 4 matches. Bristol City, though, they are the draw kings, picking up 4 draws at the last 5, but they're unbeaten in at least the last 6 with that 1 win against Middlesbrough. Of course, Preston are taking on the Gunners in the Cup, which will be a good game for them. But look at the odds. We have 6-4 is your Preston, 7-4 is your Bristol City, 9-4 is the draw. Bookie's a little bit unsure on this one, slightly giving it to Preston. And I think I'm also going to give it to Preston. 1-0 win. That streak for Chris Hogg will come to an end. Preston and the Heckingbottom are a bit something. They're a bit something. I think they're a team you don't really want to play because they can either be good or they can be shit. And I think they'll just get the edge against Bristol City. Well, let's go down to Loftus Road as QPR are struggling right now, all the way down to 23rd, take on tabletop of Sunderland and Reggie Lebris. Of course, QPR under Martin Cofientes, winless in the last 9 matches. Up against Sunderland and Reggie Lebris, unbeaten in the last 5. They're on 75% form and top of the table. Played 22 times since 1997, 4 wins for QPR, 11 wins for Sunderland, 7 draws between the two sides, including a draw. Last time they played over at the Stadium of Light was a 0-0 draw way back in March 2024. Sunderland, though, are unbeaten against QPR over the last 5 matches, and they actually like playing at Loftus Road. At the last 5, like I said, unbeaten in the last 5. All the wins have come at Loftus Road, whether it's in the Cup or in the league. So they like playing. At this venue. It's like their second home, really. QPR, though, on the back of a 0-0 draw against Burnley, successive draws for them. Sunderland on the back of just grinding out the wins, beating Hull, Luton, and now Oxford. Of course, both sides looking forward to this game. Nothing else on the agenda. 13-5 is your QPR, 21-20 is your Sunderland, and 12-5 is the draw. It's going to be one winner. It's going to be Sunderland, and of course QPR. I'm in a bit of spot of bother QPR right now. And then we go to Hillsborough, that's right. Sheffield Wednesday take on Watford, coming at you on the 2nd of November. Sheffield Wednesday under Danny Rolls, 67% form for them right now, sitting in 13th with 15 points to the name. Up against Watford, 1-3, lost 3 over the last 6. They sit 7th with 19 points to the name. They played 26 times, these two clubs, since 1999. Just 5 wins for Wednesday, 14 wins for the Hornets. There's been 7 draws between the two sides, including a draw last time around at this very venue. It was a 0-0 draw back in January 2024. Watford, though, are unbeaten against Wednesday over the last 6, picking up 3 wins and 3 draws. It's actually been back-to-back draws at this very venue between these two sides. Watford, though, with the 1-0 win over Rovers, of course, winning their home games, losing their away games. Wednesday, they're on the back of a 2-1 win over Pompey, not being that productive at home. Back-to-back home games without a win for Wednesday. In fact, they haven't scored in their home matches in the past 2. The odds, though, for this one, I think Wednesday are in the Cup. They're taking on Brentford this weekend, so they've got that distraction on the agenda as well. Wednesday, 11-10 on for the victory, 5-2 the draw, 29-10 is the away win. This could be a draw. This could be very much a draw. I'm going to go with a 1-1 here at Wednesday, and Watford will take that point right now. And I think it'll be better for them than it will be for Wednesday. And then finally, folks, we go down to the Den on Sunday. That's right, it's the Zian Fleming derby. It's Millwall up against Burnley, up against, at the Den. Now, I do believe, is Fleming still technically a lone player? So he might be cup-tied for this game. But anyway, Millwall and Burnley have played 24 times since 1994. Just 6 wins for Millwall, just 9 wins for Burnley. There's been actually 9 draws in this fixture. Millwall are in 10th right now. Dizzy heights for Neil Harris's boys, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They're on 67% form, up against second place. Burnley have drawn 3 of the last 4, but they're also unbeaten in at least the last 9 games, of course. Last time they played at this venue, it was a 1-1 draw. Burnley have not won, Millwall have not won this fixture over the last 6. So it typically favours Burnley, but 2 of the last 3 at this venue have been draws. Millwall, though, on the back of successive 1-0 wins, beating Plymouth and Swansea. Burnley on the back of successive draws, drawing with Hull, and then, of course, drawing with QPR. Just conceded 1 goal over the last 6 matches. That was in the 1-1 draw against Hull. But a couple of frustrating 0-0s in the last 6. So they've actually drawn 4 of the last 6, Burnley. Pretty grim stuff. Oh, shit. Don't know the odds because I just closed the bloody window on this one. But it could be one of those games where Millwall frustrate Burnley and get something out of it. But unfortunately, I think Burnley will get their act right together for this game. 2-0 winners for me for Burnley over Millwall at the Den. That's right. That will complete my picks, guys. Of course, busy week up ahead. Of course, three games in the course of the 7 or 8 days. So make sure you subscribe and, of course, get your predictions in on the Super Brew. And come back next time around for the next round of games. But until then, subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. But until then, we are done.